Hey everyone, this is Zach Wright from IMEO Company, improving management, employees, and organizations. And we do that through our 12-month OKR program package, our objective and key result package. It's a goal setting and strategy framework. So what we're looking at on the screen is an OKR example. Now, this comes straight from John Doerr's book, Measure What Matters. If you are implementing OKRs and you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. But I realized that I've been talking a lot about objectives and key results, and I wanted to give you a visual on what that looks like and how it actually operates. Now, I'm going to try to hover over these as I speak so you'll know where to look and talk, or as I talk. So this is for a football team example. Now, again, this is a direct example from John Doerr himself. So what we're looking at is the head coach, their objectives. Simply put, the objective is the what. And what they're trying to do, or what they're trying to accomplish, is win the championship. Now, the way that he explains objectives, he being John Doerr, is it's the what you're trying to accomplish. Simply that and no more. Now, you do want to make them inspirational and motivational. And so that's what we see here. We want to win the championship. How are we going to do that? That's where the key results come into play. Key results is literally the how you're going to accomplish the what, or the objective. So what we're looking at here is, if we break it down more than just the words, we're seeing each part of the team have their own key results. So passing attack amasses 300 plus yards. That's going to be offense. That's going to be for the offensive team. The second one, defense allows fewer than 17 points per game. That's going to be obviously the defensive team. Then we have special teams down here at the bottom. Special team units rank in top 3 in punt return coverage. So what we're really seeing here, if we break this down into a business perspective, let's say that the head coach is the company, it's the organization. And the goal of the company is to win something, be first. And I know I don't necessarily like that example as being first, because you're never really first. You might be top for a little while. But let's just say it for this example. You want to be first. You want to be the first in your industry. You want to be the best in your industry. You want to have a world-class team, whatever that is, right? Now, what they have done here, and if we continue on the business example, we would break this down into marketing, into sales, into legal, into operations. The list goes on. Whatever departments that you have in your organization, you would have something that they could pull from, because what you'll see here in a moment is what the teams below the company level, or in this case, the teams below the head coach, what they do is they pull from the company's key results, or the head coach's key results, to create their own objective. So what we're looking at here is passing attack amasses 300 plus yards. So if we go directly over and we follow this arrow, we get to the offensive coach. We can see how his or her objective has turned into generate 300 yards per game passing attack. So what this does is this adds a little bit more detail to the original key result. The offensive coach's goal, or the what he wants to accomplish, is 300 yards per game, specifically passing. Now, what he or she will do is create their own key results. So how is he or she going to be able to generate 300 yards per game? Well, we have to achieve 65% pass completion rate. We have to cut interceptions to fewer than 1 per game. And then we have to hire a new quarterback coach. So these are very tangible things that somebody who is trying to achieve these goals can measure. If you look at every single key result for the majority of it, there's a way to measure it. 65%, one per game, 300 plus yards, 17 points, top three. That's what you want to be specific about. Now, what we see enter into this key result is hire new quarterback coach. So this is a binary goal. It's black or white. It's yes or no. We did this or we did not do this. So you can have quantitative goals, which is numbers, or you can have binary goals, something that you can clearly say, yes, we did this, or no, we did not. Now, if we continue on this example, defense allows fewer than 17 points per game. So we'll navigate over to this bottom square here. Defensive coach, give up fewer than 17 points a game. Now, the key thing here is we're being very specific, right? 17 points a game. It's not 17 points for the season. It's not 17 points for half the year. It's 17 points per game. And then we continue on the path of creating our key results. Allow fewer than 100 rushing yards per game. Increase number of sacks to 3+ per game. And then develop a Pro Bowl cornerback. Now, I will say that last one is a little bit tough to measure, but we can measure it because this cornerback is going to be titled a Pro Bowler or not. So it's still binary. Now we can look at that as we go through a retrospective and say, did this cornerback receive a Pro Bowl recognition? Yes or no? If the answer is no, we can also look at it and see, was that because of they didn't win the championship, or was it because of outside circumstances? The point with a retrospective is to be able to understand why something happened, to be able to improve it the next quarter or the next year. But again, we still have those numbers in each key result. And then for the last one, special teams, top 3 in punt return coverage. We want to improve to top 3 ranking for punt coverage team. How are we going to do that? Allow fewer than 10 yards per punt return. Block 4+ punts over the season. Now, you can see some of these have 3 key results. One of them has 2. It's up to you. You don't want to flub something where you're just having key results, because you want to make sure that everything that you have here is beneficial and it's moving the team forward in this example, or it's moving the company forward. So these are some of the quick call outs that I wanted to do. And I really wanted to show you what an example in real life looks like. If you're a football fan, you can imagine all these things. If you're not, put it in perspective of your favorite sport or in something else that you relate to. If you want to see a specific example on what an OKR would look like for your industry, drop it in the comments and say, hey, Zach, can you please give us an OKR example on XYZ industry? Or just reach out and ask me a question. We can jump on the phone, have a 30-minute conversation, an hour conversation. I say an hour because whenever I talk about this, I get very passionate. But the other thing to call out is this is a cascading OKR framework. And what that means is every single thing is connected to the start. So again, if I go back to the company example, let's say we change this to, instead of head coach, we have company OKR. And then let's say that the objective is, like I said, build a world-class organization in industry of performance management. Then we create our key results. The part that is cascading is whenever we take these key results here and then we turn those key results into that next level down's objectives, right? And then what would happen is this offensive coach might have people who report to him, not players, but maybe other coaches. So maybe you have offensive line coach. That offensive line coach would possibly take this first key result and turn it into their objective. And then underneath that, it might be, we want to have less penalties. We want to have 5-second blocks. You can take that and continue all the way down, where now whenever this individual contributor achieves their OKRs, it rolls up until we get to the offensive coach, the special teams coach, and then the defensive coach. I look at these as department goals. It gets to this level, and then once they achieve them, it ultimately helps us win the championship, because it's a top-down, bottom-up approach, meaning that the goals start from the top, go all the way down to the bottom. The bottom starts to achieve, so then we actually progress as what we wanted to at the very top, which is the company OKRs, or in this example, the head coach. So again, I hope that this is very helpful. I'm a visual person, so I wanted to provide you with a real example from John Doerr's OKR book, Measure What Matters. If you have any questions, or again, if you want to see something in an OKR example on a specific industry, drop it in the comments. But until next time, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.